for TSM before.
Yeah, and even though double lift, last time you saw it, you're like, oh my god, he hit like 6 arrows from lane phase over to mid lane. You don't even have to bank on that when you're taking this Ashe. It is more about the mid game and those engages, but the arrows towards mid and that extra pressure on mid is definitely a nice touch. And I think TSM will be going again with quite a few visits towards that mid lane.
Exactly, yeah, I almost feel bad now for Exile because he's going to be under a lot of pressure. Top lane with the Gragas coming in for Chachi, that's trying to be more of a safe lane for Unicorns of Love. And the Ivern, it is a bit hard for him to set up the same kind of camp we can see from other junglers.
Exactly. The Ivern, his protection around mid lane would be much more coming in to shield and, you know, get vision, not really about turning around any sort of pressure. So even if Xerxes, you know, does kind of hover around that mid lane, they're going to have their hands full.
I actually think also TSM are just very happy to see the Kassadin being banned by Unicorns. They're like, oh, you want LeBlanc and you ban the counter? Well, we just one target. Well, he has a shield from Ivern and that damage is not really relevant, and suddenly Bjergsen can't really carry a late game team fight. You do see right now some of that early warding we mentioned. They actually do spot Ivern on the way. Bjergsen is hovering to the top side, and a lot of praise to TSM in the early vision.
All right, Rune Prison comes out. Trigger Seed flashed away from. Not done yet! Bjergsen!
The defense, but Bio's on the bottom side, so it's not going to be the case here.
All right, Hornster gets knocked up into the air. Sven Skeren's around for support. Hilly's busy tanking. Great barrel from Vizichachi, but the damage is coming down from Samix. He tanks the tower. Taste of Fear comes out. Sven Skeren gets it back.
Coordination
Takes it up. Here comes an arrow towards mid lane, though.
Manages to connect. How much damage does Bjergsen have? Exile's going to get shut down. Winter's Bite comes out, and Bjergsen takes down Exile.
Double lift! Are you kidding? Look at this turret. They do have Daisy, so it's very easy, and they engage.
Well, Flash Engage comes out with the quickness. Daisy helping out. Double a flash and heal. Nobody's dead yet. Now Sven Skeren gets the first. Shuts down Hylissang. That's a double. Looking for the triple as Samix uses the Featherstorm for time. Exile taste their fear as Sven Skeren gets a third.
Unicorns of Love just not respecting teleports here. TSM, they saw everyone move to top lane. They had a ward right there. Bjergsen was on the way to the bot lane, but he had TP ready. Instantly came in.
River wards, river wards, river ward. The Rift Herald buff, they've got a 4-0 Kha'Zix. Sven Skeren setting up to snowball, similar to yesterday, and they're going for the blue invade.
All right, Xerxes manages to tag blue buff, smites it down. Xerxes gets caught by the Enchanted Crystal Arrow, and Exile's here to fight. 4 members of Team Solo Mid making their way down. Interrupt on the Realm Warp means Exile cannot escape. That's a first for double lift. The rest of TSM continue to chase. Somehow Hornster's gone down in the bottom lane. Now we continue in the top. Double lift gets tagged by the Featherstorm, but 2 missed that tower after 15 minutes. They've only conceded 3 towers before 15 minutes across the 7 games that they've played. Vizichachi is now going to be under threat as Double lift fires the ECA. This is going to catch Vizichachi. He's stunned up, and Bjergsen is on a killing spree.
TSM, they send the squad down to avenge.
Love's comp will need a lot of time before he can fight.
We can't say that we're surprised. We'll continue that discussion in a moment. The quickness comes out as immediately does a redemption. Hylissang forced to run for his life. The tower is already killed, but Sven Skeren's looking for more. He's 4-0-4. UOL champion fighters not found. Featherstorm comes down. Blade Caller backwards will at least slow TSM's advance. Vizichachi doesn't have access to the explosive cast, and Hilly's forced to run for his life.
Oh, he wants
Vizichachi's on the front line, but you can't fight all of TSM. Bjergsen's on a rampage. Sven Skeren kills Daisy, and TSM get the 10th kill.
That was a really good teamfight example of zoning and the spacing being a very big issue here. In the end, after the backline gets chunked out, the front line can't move up without the threat of the damage dealers right behind him. And even though he started at full life, gets immediately taken down. Initially, though, it starts off with Biofrost expecting some aggression onto double lift. He's waiting over the edge. They start to turn it around here, even with the teleport coming in.
Chachi obviously joining behind TSM at the moment, so you see Exile very low, has to back away. Same goes for Samix, but actually ended up taking all the damage before using his ulti, so TSM are feeling pretty confident most of the fight. Only really Biofrost who is low, and when they see Chachi chasing for that last kill, they can just turn around.
Lock him up, because as you said, Exile and Samix were chunked out below 50 HP, or 50% HP at the very beginning of that fight, and they're not
obviously taking the wrong fights with their scaling comp.
And I think that the vision leads to taking wrong fights, though, so they come.
I mean, they're diving a tower.
The TSM saw them coming. Right now, they're not diving anything.
No, they're not. The blast code still doesn't save Hylissang. He manages to jump away. Ooh. The Realm Warp delivers forces Exile and Hilly to safety, but with Samox down, Baron becomes the objective with double mountains. This is going to fly.
All right, Xerxes is over the wall. Is he going to try and suicide in there or not even give it an attempt?
Well, Exile is there with him. Really hard to walk in the front door, though, when the enemy team is already on the...
The stats team buzz me and inform me that Samox purchased his 6th control ward for all of Rift Rival.
Well, sure, they're fighting.
They are indeed. This Biofrost is standing on the front line, does not care, even though there's a good knock back onto double lift. He just walks to safety, didn't even need to flash. The 5th kill for Bjergsen, so easily secured. Plucks Hylissang out from under the tower.
Well, they still didn't get that inhib turret down, so Unicorns are trying to defend, at least, in that mid lane.
There's a brush on it. How do you attack that?
No, they're getting it now.
Talk about optimism as Exile's gonna try get away.
Oh.
Tries to get back into his realm. Warp cannot do either. Hornsa picks up his 1st kill of the game.
Yeah, but they still didn't get 3 inhibs.
They didn't get 3. The only member...
I don't think anyone's going to get 3 inhibs this game. It might just be...
It might be over. The only member of TSM...
Unicorns actually have a few winning lanes. They can play around. Then the dives suddenly backfires. Double lift gets a few kills. We see Bjergsen start taking over the game, and now we also see Chachi dying.
All right, Realm Warp finishes, and just to watch Hornsa walk away, wave goodbye. So that wasn't very nice, friend. And Hornsa and Bjergsen take down Visit Chachi. 14 kills to 2, 55,000 to 39,500. And yes, Sven Skeren gets tagged and chunked, and he's able to flash away to safety. Enchanted Crystal Arrow hits the most important target in the fight, Samox. While that happens, Exile's chunked down. Daisy gets a knock-up, though, at least, and this could be some kills back. Shut down onto double lift. Inhibitor tower goes down as Sven Skeren gets a couple of hits. Remember, they haven't got 3 inhibs yet.
Exactly.
As TSM are thwarted on this siege.
I mean, the fact they actually walked down there. Oh, Bjergsen.
All right, Bjergsen's going to find at least 1 onto Samox. Hilly and Xerxes trying to run them down.
There's no damage there, though.
There's no one to kill anyone. Biofrost and Bjergsen turn it back around. Hit him with a chair. Hylissang is going to dash away to safety. And Chachi's being run down. Hornsa manages to get a hop, get the hyper, get the speed boost and a boomerang. As Hilly goes down in the background, that weird sounding pin was making noises again as TSM are just packed.
With these extra minions, you'll eventually be able to claim those Nexus turrets by sheer force.
Well, Exile gets tagged by the Enchanted Crystal Arrow. Hornsa gets a very good knockback. Biofrost gets his 1st kill of the game, but Samox shuts down Hornsa. It's a 1 for 2 so far. Samox and Exile still alive. Running for their life correction. Samox and Hilly still alive. And they managed to get the root down onto Bjergsen. Not a lot of follow-up. Featherstorm goes out. Blade Caller, I think, is still on cooldown. Sven Skeren and the rest of TSM dash in forward. Samox stays alive a few seconds longer. Xerxes' shields are burned through. The double lane is down. Xerxes runs for his life. TSM diving under the tower. Ace the Unicorns. Destroy the Nexus turrets. And while they did not get 3 inhibitors, TSM dominate Unicorns in game number 1.
Yeah, and this game was just decided at these 2 tower dives where Unicorns of Love went aggressive. They got punished by TSM. Great reactions from TSM, obviously. Had the vision, they saw them, had TP ready from someone like Bjergsen. And they came and they got so many kills from it and used that then to completely take over the game.
What a statement game here for TSM.